What's up, guys? Welcome to Knockers on the Bottom. I'm your host, J Mill. J Mill, if you like. So let's get into it. So, got a lot of. First, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're going to give something away when we get to 100. Just want to let you guys know that in the beginning so that you know, hey, what you're hitting this button for. Why are you hitting the like button? Why are you hitting the subscribe button? You're hitting it because you're going to get some shit. And I'm going to give it to you. So, just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we will give something away when we get to 100 subscribers. Now, got a lot of interesting developments this week at the Combine. One that I didn't see coming. The Cowboys probably going to extend Osa Adigizua. And I didn't see that coming. I thought the Cowboys would be their typical cheap self, not want to really give anybody any money, or if they were, kind of make this guy test the free agent market, see what kind of offers he gets when he leaves the building, bring that offer back to the Dallas Cowboys, see if they're willing to match it, which most likely they would have. But it's nice to know that the Cowboys understand that, hey, we took this player, we developed this player, and I know as Cowboys fans, y'all hate it, the draft and develop, but Osa is one of the few that have actually developed, and he plays a position 3 technique that's a lot harder than most positions to replace on your defense, right? If you take a look at the defensive tackles in the NFL, the 3 techniques specifically, there are not a ton of them out there that are producing at an elite level. And Osa did produce at an elite level last year. He was top 7 in most statistics, which would put him at an elite level. That means, hey, and when I say top 7, there were some that he was 4, there were some that he was 2, there were some that he was number 1. So you're getting a player that, at a lot of different metrics, produces like the best or one of the best in the National Football League. Hard to let that guy go away. Looks like they're talking about playing him somewhere between the 10th and 14th highest contract for a defensive tackle. That's also awesome because if you have a person that's produced at the top 7 and in the top 5 in a lot of metrics, but you're playing him 10 to 14 at his position, you're getting value for your money. I get it. I understand it. Everybody wants to knock the Cowboys, and I can't blame you because typical Cowboys is to say, what? This free agency, we signed Osa Adigizua. That's what we did. Look at us. We killed it. We signed one of the best defensive tackles in free agency, but he was already on your team. So hopefully that's not the only signing that they do. And I hope they also draft at the position, because if you can have Micah on the outside and hopefully a healthy Sam Williams on the outside, right? And then you got Marshawn Nealon still there. And then you bring back another person. Maybe it's Golston. Maybe it's Golston and Lawson. But you bring back those guys. You have that's 5 defensive ends that are a pretty solid rotation that you feel really good about going into the season, that you feel can really help you. So hopefully the Cowboys continue after signing Osa Adigizua, but hey, don't hold your breath. You might suffocate, you might die, and I don't want you to blame it on me and be haunting me at my house. So don't hold your breath on that, but hopefully this signals a new leaf being turned over by the Dallas Cowboys when it comes to dealing with some high priority free agents. Hopefully they're willing to put their money into people that will actually move the needle for the team. All right, so secondly, we heard Stephen Jones talk. He talked about being selectively aggressive and improving the team, talking about the team looking at more free agency, as opposed to basically sitting out like they did this past year. Maybe, Jerry Jones not having much time left on this earth, combined with, hey, you paid Dak, you paid CD, you're about to pay Micah, you're about to pay Osa, so you're paying cornerstone players. So why not surround these players? You pay Trayvon Diggs, you pay Hooker, you pay Wilson, you paid Steele, you're paying so many people. Man, get this stuff together and make sure that you're surrounding those people with plenty of talent to make sure that because if you're playing these talented players, right? You think Dak is talented, you think CD is talented, you think Os is talented, you think Steele is talented, you know, and you're paying these guys. Why not surround them with more talented players as well? And I don't mean more talented than them. I mean more talented than what they've had to work with, right, in the past. Because if you have more talented players than we've signed in the past, surrounded by already supremely talented players, that's the way you start to move the needle and put yourself in a position. Now, the players still have to go do it, right? Playoff comes around, Dak can't crap the bed. He has to go out there and actually do what he's supposed to do. You know, CD can't be dropping balls, although the last time CD played in the playoffs, not counting the Green Bay game, which is the bane of all of our existence. But when he played against the 49ers, when the Cowboys lost 17-12 the year before, CD had like 10 catches and 100 yards in that game. No touchdown, but he was pretty much the only weapon. I feel like if Tony Pollard didn't get injured at halftime, maybe that game's a different game. But you know what? When we go through our Cowboys history, we could say, well, maybe if the ball didn't slip out of Tony Romo's hands, or maybe if Dez had, you know, been ruled that he caught it because he caught it. Maybe if the refs ruled that he caught it. Maybe if DeMarco Murray doesn't fumble out of halftime of that game, you know, with Julius Peppers stripping it out of his hands. Just so many different things throughout the year. So I get it. We got our shoulda, coulda, wouldas. We got our what if we did this. So I'm not here to play that card too much. But I'm here to say, hey, you know what? The Cowboys are at least doing something that they haven't done, which means hopefully, at the very least, we get different results. Now, those results could be worse. Those results could be better. We don't know. But at least it'll be different because they're doing something different. So that's really nice. And, you know, let's see what happens when we go further in free agency. Now, to get to the first day of the scouting combine with the defensive linemen and the linebackers running. So one of the things that stood out to me specifically with Shamar Stewart, he ran his 40, and I don't remember what his 40 time finished at. I feel like it was in the 4.5s, but he ran a 1.58 10-yard split, which shows his get off, shows his burst, and it makes me think he's not necessarily going to slip now to the second round where the Cowboys could select him. He's probably going to be a first rounder, but as an edge, I think he's going to be a first rounder in maybe the mid to late 20s, which means the Cowboys are probably going to miss out on that guy going into this process. They definitely could have had a chance to select him at 44, I feel. But after that 10-yard split, I think there's no chance. Also, Jahai Campbell, man, he had a nice 40 time, which matched up for me with his game tape because he played really fast. He has a nose for the ball. He's one of the few true linebackers in this draft that are ready to contribute day one. And seeing the way he ran his 40 and the way he ran his drills, I think Jahai Campbell definitely also is another one now that there's probably no... I don't know if you guys remember a few weeks ago, I did the mock draft, right? With the draft simulator, and I think in the first round, you know, Mason Graham fell to us, and I was like, yeah, boom, take that. And then in the second round, Harmon fell to us. But I was like, oh shit, if I knew Harmon fell to us, maybe I would have selected one of these other positions. But screw it. Jahai Campbell also fell to us. I'm taking Jahai Campbell in the second round. I don't know if Jahai Campbell is now going to be there for the Cowboys in the second round. I think they're probably going to be better suited to try to attack linebacker on free agency. And then if Jahai Campbell happens to fall, then fine, and then you take him too, you know, and because you already have Maris Leofau, and then, you know, Overshown's out for this year, and then the following year, now you're going to sit up there in a situation, you're going to have ex-free agent linebacker plus 3 young linebackers that you feel can just fly over the field and get to the ball. So I think if he does fall to the second round, that would still be my pick, but I don't think he falls to the second round. I think the Cowboys should go out in free agency and make sure to address that position. The other guy who seemed like he helped this stock a shit ton was Pierce. And Pierce ran, I believe it was a 4.47 as an edge, which is just crazy explosive. And he had a decent 10-yard split too. I want to say it was 1.62. Which is pretty awesome as well. I believe one of the guys on the telecast was saying they're looking at for at least like a 1.71 or a 1.68. So anything under a 1.68 they consider pretty explosive because you're not expecting your defensive ends to have long speed, but you're expecting that explosive first few yards get off, and it seems like he has that. And then also his size, right? He's 6'5". He's probably about 240 pounds, maybe a little bit less, 238. So he's a little light in the butt. So you think about in the running game, you know, people are going to move him off the ball and try to force him to, as he continues to develop, to put some weight on that frame and then, you know, hopefully not lose his explosiveness and be able to defend the run better. So to me, he projects more as a right defensive end than a left defensive end, which kind of doesn't fit into the Cowboys' needs. You know, because Micah, especially in Matt Eberflus's system, is probably going to line up at right defensive end the bulk of the time. Eberflus is not really big disguise guy. I mean, maybe he can take some of what he saw some of the previous defensive coordinators do and maybe give Micah some matchups against defensive tackles or centers, but predominantly you're going to see Micah on the right side rushing every single play. And so I don't know if there's room for a guy like James Pierce on the Dallas Cowboys roster because he's going to also project as a right defensive end. You really don't want to have him as the left defensive end on the strong side so that, you know, whenever they're lining up with an extra tight end over there or an extra tackle playing as a tight end over there, you know, that's where somebody like DeMarcus Lawrence with his girth, his thickness, his strength was able to play very well. I think Sam Williams will play well over there. I think Marshawn Nealon will also play well over there. So we'll see. It's early. And I know today a lot of other positions ran, but I just wanted to break down that position so far because tomorrow I'll be giving you another episode breaking down more positions, you know, and then, you know, Monday I'll give you another episode breaking down some more. And then Tuesday we'll pretty much finish up, you know, with the last guys, which are going to be the O-linemen, which I hope the Cowboys kind of stay away from that position because I think they have a lot of resources that they've spent over the last few drafts that they kind of just need to let develop and see how that goes. But that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. You can follow me on Twitter at jmillerIYL. That's jmiller if you like. You can also hit me up via email, knockersonthebottom@outlook.com. Again, knockersonthebottom@outlook.com. You can also hit me up at knockersonthebottom@gmail.com. You can leave comments below if there's anything specific that you want me to cover, any questions that you have. I'll take them here, take them via email, take them via Twitter, roll it into a mailbag, make it a formal segment. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Love you guys. Like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. But until next time, I'm your host, J Miller if you like. This has been Knockers on the Bottom. Peace.